There's plenty of, you know, listen, mischievous plays, risky plays all over the bloody place, isn't it, with them? But I am excited to get this one started.
I think it's the most unpredictable group that we have at Champions, and we're kicking things off straight into the pistol round with two IGLs that have got to be some of the most unpredictable too. Team Liquid have gone for a really bizarre composition. And Solcas taking liberties over here on his own towards Arcade.
Fast lane up, there's going to be a fault line to the side. No stun connecting.
Great sees though onto Yampi.
Yeah, and look at that. Yampi nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Dart a little bit late. Angel still tucked to the corner. Safety in numbers. Rest of his team helping to support him out here. Team Liquid forced to really readjust, set their sights onto a different goal maybe.
So Sean was saying that the Neon is going to try and get past the Killjoy utility repeatedly, but here you see they have more tools to be able to work with that. The Seize is going to be excellent at dealing with Yampi, and that's got to be something that he baits out early or tries to find a way around. Now, Team Liquid stalled out a little bit, but safe still with a ton of utility. And a call is made for a reclearance right into the Maw. Team Liquid still holding. It's a triple face. Nats! He's claiming two. Stun is beautiful. Nats! So cheeky with a three-piece. The beginning after a rough start for the pistol. Let's see how it really gets going, though. Plan. Get it going. Still a fight to be taken by NAVI. It's really just trying to take tempo into their own hands, but that's the pistol round claimed. Off a huge play by Nats. Came into it with only a classic in his hand, and such patience demonstrated there too by Liquid, waiting for NAVI to peek into them. If you think about how both of these compositions are going to play on the defense side, NAVI should have more passive information. They have the Killjoy setup. They can be throwing out Haunts and Prowlers. Team Liquid, without the Killjoy, are going to have to be fighting and using that recon information constantly when the sides swap. But for now, it was NAVI that got a little antsy and punished for it. All Sheriffs on the NAVI side, and both of these teams have been deadly in eco rounds across this year. You can't call into question that individual skill.
Screen down.
No, I don't really think that that's been the issue with NAVI this year. It hasn't been the individual form of the players. It's been finding a team system that really works, compositions that fit them, and ways of putting their players in positions to succeed. That constant struggle to find their style. For Team Liquid, they clicked a little quicker.
Oh, and faced it away. It's a game of timings. Wall up, smokes propped up. Close to the corner is Angel. Does he suspect the reposition? Doesn't seem likely. Yep, wades right into it. Aftershock on top. The stun. Sending it flying with the util as well. Looks like Team Liquid looking to try and clear this one, but again, too much emphasis being placed. Now through. Main choke point. Redgar and Nats landing it. The better weapons for the job. NAVI being choked out of this one still. Reveal, I believe, Shao to claim that one through the smoke. Zipan as well. This is getting potentially dangerous, but leave it just up to Shao. Not likely to win that one, not against the rifles.
So they save Phantom the Bulldog here into round 3. And Team Liquid have not been particularly successful at converting these bonuses. This one doesn't look like it's going to have too much behind it. Redgar only bought a Ghost in the prior round, so he could invest some of that economy and build it up. But it's going to have to be fast and explosive for Team Liquid to carry this momentum forwards. Still, a much better start than the last time we saw Liquid on Fracture. The previous iteration, coming out at Tokyo, playing against EG, they got destroyed. This map pool, incredibly close between all of these teams. And Angel looks like he wants to fight really early on.
Listen, might be seeing a classic Angel play. He wants to take the initiative for his team. There's a flash blinding them all up. Haunt. Pulls it back.
It's an excellent stun. Great bolt from Yampi. It pushes everybody back from NAVI. And now they're looking to head into Solcas. Now, Solcas has been playing on his own here, arcade side, pretty much the entire time, all 3 of these rounds. And
that's
he gets
the danger
punished.
of it. Yeah, that's the punish, if you get a read on that.
It really doesn't seem like a safe place for Solcas to be holding. He doesn't have the ability to get out on the ropes, doesn't have too much utility to be able to hold on to either, and no support. You know, it's not like playing a Killjoy on the north side where your turret gives you information if there's a crunch going on, or, you know, some way of escaping, for example, if you're playing Chamber or something like that.
Call was made here for Liquid. Redgar trying to fake some presence over towards B with the dart and the drone. Making it feel like, again, all that attention is placed there, but nobody's given up their positioning right now to hold it down. It's Sugetsu. Fast lane in his face. Ripping all the way through, can't deal with the turret. Still a lot of angles to watch for. Sugetsu, yep, caught so unaware. Trousers down by his ankle. Still seen it. The back of the sight, got to anchor it, cannot adjust the aim in time.
Welcome to
Liquid
my world.
finding their space now with a pit down as well as looking orbit. Likely that they just steal away the round. It's a scramble from Navi, desperate to try and get in.
All down to Shao in a 1v3. Does he anticipate Redguard behind? Yes, the adjustment's there.
Works, still got the haunt as well. No reveals.
So difficult to get a reveal in the pit.
Yeah. What a difficult task. The Decay kicking in lower and lower, and yep, single bullet will do it with a crossfire setup. Plenty of safety there. This is Team Liquid. Really setting the tone, I think, of this map here. Like you're saying, Josh, you know, they've changed up quite a bit with their compositions, but winning the bonus round, keeping it going.
And they came into the bonus with almost no equipment. And it's Nats and Yampi who are just carrying this map for Liquid so far. On top of that, major mistakes from Sugetsu. It's an interesting wall setup that he was using over towards the A site, and he's gone for it again here in the next round, but he was just caught wide out in the open. Had no way of really dealing with the neon fast wall in his face.
Cool's made to try and push out here. Yampi, that's okay, off of his contact. There's a fault line and a flash into the corner. Will collect the 1 kill. Plenty more players waiting, though, to receive, and yet he's diligent with it. Checking the right corners. All that map control gain. There is a push out from Navi on the north side of the map. And look, they seem to be ready for it. There's 2 players holding that direction already. Almost expecting.
And this is the way that Navi like to play. If they're pushed on defense like this, Zipan and Angel are going to try to flank. I mean, Sean was forced to break down a version of that play, actually, where Angel went for a bit of an ambitious TP.
Yeah.
But Team Liquid look like they're ready for it, and you've got to remember that this is going to be a battle where both teams are familiar with the other's playstyle. And now it's all down to Angel and Zipan coming through on Dish. Soulcast has already spotted them. He can just back up and play with the rest.
Purposefully not planting the spike. Maybe to farm some orbs or what. Not too sure, but they're collecting the kills anyway, and now they get the plant down. I mean, yeah, even the ace.
Well, that's going to boost up the energy and the confidence. Team Liquid are a very momentum-based team. They constantly talk about it, bringing energy into the matches, feeling like they're putting their best out on the server. And when Yampi's 9-1 coming off the back of an ace, sure, it's an anti-eco. You know, he's not facing the most stiff resistance in the world. But even before this, he was still 4-1 winning massive duels for his team and helping them get into good spots on the bonus round. That's how you know things are going well for Liquid.
Feeling good.
Redguard very close to his ultimate here. We'll see if Team Liquid have any ult plays cooked up. This is one of the major powers of the Breach Sova compositions, but Yampi's just sending it.
Yeah, all the way through as well, and the bullets, the damage concatenated on top there with the nano swarms.
I think they could have come up with a better strategy there.
Yeah, it was very all in. Another first kill going away at Navi, but they haven't been able to convert the rounds after it. It's Team Liquid.
Still Soulcast on his own towards Arcade, now getting reinforcements from Safe. There was an opportunity for CNED to duel him, but he didn't take it. Chose the more safe of the options. They're gathering up here. Redguard's still not really playing for the orb, not playing for any kind of Hunter's Fury idea in this round.
There's danger in this as well. The more you tick the clock down, that showstopper in the back pocket of Zipan becomes a round-winning ult.
But recall what Navi did on the pistol. Same kind of situation as this. Team Liquid cut noise and Navi peeked into them. Going for information, got punished.
30 seconds left.
Let's get to it a jiggle there. I think he did see something. Angel had to let the paranoia fly as well. There is that trade. Zipan, he's quick with it. Now the showstopper let loose on top of the staircase. And yet he finds his mark. This time, Team Liquid not able to battle back and crack into that defense. Navi were very prepared.
But let's talk about the ults a little here. Mimi was saying that these Sova Breach compositions can be excellent on Fracture, and they can. And we've seen that Evil Geniuses cook up tons of different ultimate plays to carry the momentum forwards and win rounds just like this one. But here, you don't have the Brim ultimate, you don't have the Killjoy lockdown, you don't have the Showstopper, all massive tools that Evil Geniuses usually uses to be able to carry their momentum forwards. If you have a Sova that's one away from getting his Hunter's Fury online, I think that's got to be the priority. And that maybe can be a gap that Navi can exploit. If Team Liquid haven't done the prep into cooking these big ult combos up, maybe Navi will get some easier rounds here.
This is a bread and butter move. The Navi composition, the one-way smoke, a bit of a prowler to set them up on a line. It gives them that A-horse control, but they've given up drop as a result of it. Let's put their attention towards it. 3 players grouped up, and I believe that's a stun being held, yeah, along with the dart. This is definitely a set play. Hunter's Fury, right from the spawn, and all the kills being collected. Combined up, beautiful turn of events, right when they needed it.
That is absolutely wonderful. Choosing to invest it here in round 6 rather than round 5, but Redgar had the perfect angle to catch those players as they went back into sight. That was wonderfully done. An A-split with a Hunter's Fury that was excellent for Yampi to be able to capitalize on. So, just as I was having doubts about whether Team Liquid had done their prep work on the attack side, they come out with that one. And now they're starting to build up to Breach Ultimate as well. Things that can keep Navi constantly on the back foot. Remember, this is Navi's map pick. It's probably their second best map. The way that the vetoes went, Team Liquid got rid of Pearl, which Navi have been incredible at. That's why Navi have brought them here to Fracture.
Well, still close to the corner. Trying to hunt down these kills to get to. He's holding his ground, and still the aim is sharp, isn't it? Good form towards the end of the round. We'll do some economic damage, but still enough money to buy. It feels like, yeah, in the back pocket, plenty of it for Team Liquid.
Look at how well coordinated it is. And look at the angle. I mean, as Zipan is caught in the corner, it also catches Xiao, who's trying to escape into sight. The reaction from Safe is exactly what I'm thinking too. That was very clean. And Navi take a timeout. Bren, I thought it was so interesting listening to the press conference before Champions began. Much has been made of Emil going up against Doombros, the 2 identical twins battling. But one of the things I found to be most incredible is that they said whenever a tactical timeout is taken like this, they can almost tell exactly what the other brother is going to be saying to the team. These guys are physiologically identical, and they've also gone down almost the exact same career pathway, coaching a Valorant team, finding themselves in this kind of spot. They just know what the other's thinking, and it makes these tactical timeouts such a mind game. They were saying they often have to ignore what their first impetus would be and go to plan B or plan C of how they would adjust things, just to try and win the mind game over their opponent. This is not just a matchup of 2 EMEA teams that know each other really well. It's a battle of 2 IGLs that have a ton of experience. 2 brothers in the coaching slot that whenever they have input, have to second guess everything.
Yeah. Secondary plans. Plans on plans as well, and actions, just in case the other side is going to predict what you're going to do.
And Navi have swapped things up here. They've completely rotated the Killjoy to the other side of the map. So Viper Killjoy playing on A. The more info-finding aggressive component of the Raze Fade and Angel fighting Arcade.
Yeah. Dart, Flash, Stun, all combined. Try and net them some early control towards Arcade. It was a nade that pushed them back, but do have that ground. Now the drone a little bit further. Angel tagged. Out in the open, but skips across back to safety, and there's a pit laid down in a hall. So lots of ults online for Navi.
Sugetsu presumably putting that down because Nats made some noise over here. We're going to have a Viper standoff where Nats is not favored. Going to have to creep through a pit if he wants to create any space on this side of the map. So for Team Liquid, it looks like another slow round that's just this pinch on B. These have gone well when Navi have peeked into them, but otherwise Team Liquid don't seem to have that ability to get into the site. Perhaps the Breach ult can make the difference here.
Time running short, down to 40 seconds. This Viper's pit again, it just pushes Team Liquid into the B site. Should be expecting this one. Zipan still has to watch multiple angles, and here's a Nightfall. In response there, Breach ult going straight wide into their spawn as well, just trying to take the fight straight to them as well. There's going to have to be containment on various areas of the map. Onto the site, Zipan falls though. Sokas now with a late lurk and not expecting that angle. Xiao from behind the box just popping out in the open. Heads on a swivel. Team Liquid caught Showdown unaware. Redgar still wins his fight out, and Yampi looking as well to get that backstab attempt. Xiao still alive, but it is just left up to Yampi. It's a 1v2. Very wide swing. Xiao still alive. 9 bullets, make it 7. Has to skip across and try and deny it. Yeah, immaculately played by Xiao to get to. Always safe pair of hands in that scenario.
There it is, Emil's favorite skin. Team Liquid's slow attacks into B have just simply not been successful. They're not able to get the same value, and here's what happened over towards Halls. Nats caught CNED, who was trying to push out through the pit and meet up with the rest of the players on B, and it just ended up being a 1-for-1 trade where Nats was essentially out of the fight the entire time. So NAVI have another in very similar fashion to how they got round 5. They're going to look to try and take some tree control as everybody on Liquid sets up for an A split.
On either side of the map there, there's not going to be any contact.
Look at that recon dart too that Redguard's throwing. It's all the way from the south side and it lands to clear out Dish.
It's cheeky.
Poison's off.
Clearly a lot of prep work been put in here. This rotate though is incredibly early from NAVI.
Already stacking, aren't they? With the exception of just Xiao. Redguard's droning out towards B main, maybe just making it feel like they could be pushing if there was players there, but no, NAVI are stacking this, and Team Liquid, do they still choose to pull the trigger? Yeah, there's the stuns coming through, gliding down, but Yampi's caught in between two players. Nats now left to try and maybe do some work here. He slipped himself into the back lines, through the ropes, and ships in the night. Is there any expectation here? Xiao still looking the other way. Angel. Util in his hand, zip onto the side. Doesn't expect it. The comms going to miss.
Leaves things in the 2v3. Team Liquid still have Safe and Soulcast and Astro Wall potentially to get out onto a site somewhere. As Xiao still feels like he needs to commit to the B site. They don't exactly know where these Team Liquid players are, but the time, Team Liquid's worst enemy.
It's working against them. Got to get a move on here. Cosmic Divide. It's going to split up the site. A bit more palpable potentially. Flash into the corner. Cena though not caught by it. And look at the transfer. Even if he wasn't good for it, the rest of his team hot on the trail, able to put a stop to it.
Some of that momentum definitely petering out here for Liquid after an explosive start. You still have Yampi and Nats up at the top of the scoreboard, but Yampi is getting caught on more of these entries. You see the adaptation from NAVI. As soon as the fast lane went down for Yampi to get into sight, two of the NAVI players jumped into it. They bloomed a smoke, ran inside the fast lane to catch Yampi. They are putting a lot of resources into shutting down this Neon early, and there isn't enough support. Same play again here, same recon dart. The orb to take a little bit of Hall's control. And NAVI look like they're recognizing it. Angel and Zipan are fast out through the north side, and red pings light the map up.
Onto the north side, yeah.
Liquid, no.
It's been called, expected now, and Liquid seeking to contain, seeking to get that information, but a cross edge just not good. Angel's made to look like an absolute bloody genius. Impeccable form, even with him falling. The space has been created, and the spike is dropped in the middle of nowhere.
Take flight.
This one is going to be an almost impossibility for Redgar and Nats to recover. Everybody on NAVI controlling that area. The drone, I mean, it clears a part of the map that NAVI have no interest in standing in. Those are the kind of moments where you have these IGLs, Angel playing against Redguard, both of them love making aggressive, hard reads of their opponent. There's going to be wild plays where sometimes they look like they have a need to feed, but in certain spots like this, they can pull out the exact play that they need to. The X factor for either team.
Left.
For Redgar and Nats here, I think they'd love to save these weapons necessary, but also if they could get some kind of ult orb, I mean, even with a kill or a death, they're going to be able to have ults up for the next round. They don't need to prioritize that too much. A lot of these orbs are attacker-sided. But this next round is going to be a very important one. Only Soulcast without the ability to buy.
Maybe the rifles will make a difference. But this is NAVI. String of rounds now, almost dragging it even. One more round will do it. And yeah, Angel. I mean, again, the aggression is there, isn't it, from him? Doesn't shy away from it. When he has an idea and a read on the map, what's going on? He's always going to be the first one to take that contact. This is where we're really starting to see how deep does that Team Liquid playbook run. It's a new composition. What else have they cooked up? Because the idea is starting to run dry ever so slightly. Preparation in order with this one. Dart down to the side, making it feel like, again, that A presence. But this time, it's Team Liquid trying to work over towards Arcade. They don't have tree control.
And previously, this haunt has not really been followed up. So Team Liquid may disrespect it. Redgar's using his drone over towards halls instead of using that to re-clear trees, so Angel's got himself in a spot where he may well get value. And even if he does get pushed, punished, he has his ultimate to be able to escape. Great awareness from Yampi, checking the high ground there for Zipan.
And is that the opening that they were hunting for? Well, that and more. With Angel falling 3v5. Has to be heroics and Shout. He can't do it. Opting now into the retake. I mean, Cena with the operator in his hands, not a chance in hell. Not going to be doing that with a player disadvantage. Have to get out of there and save. So, well set up round from Team Liquid.
It is, but almost in some sense, just a slow contacting and clearing out the players from NAVI who are in spots that, you know, were a little more dangerous. You can't really say that about Zipan. Holding on top of Generator, very common, but also great awareness, I think, from the other side of things for Team Liquid to have crosshair placement trained in that specific spot. It's often an area that ends up catching people out. And I think one of the reasons that they can afford to do that is that there just hasn't been aggression coming from tower. When CNED's been playing in that spot, he's been playing passively, hold up inside tower, not looking for aggressive swings. So they're not worried about it as they get through arcade. They can only focus on one of those angles. Speaking of CNED, you know, he's had this lockdown for a long time. We saw him recently make the move over to Killjoy, and I think he's still adapting, picking up the operator now, and he's kind of playing hard anchor, which hasn't given him many opportunities to use the lockdown in some kind of retake setup. So they're missing the value that that ultimate could provide as we head deep here into this first half.
Well, they've just been waiting there. Yeah. And so a steady lead being held in game by Team Liquid, but here we go. There's a response. Util being used, and they are backed all the way out of there. The Showstoppers just pulled out of Zipan, close to the corner, but no value at all. It's a full evacuation, Team Liquid, but right into the operator this time. That's getting caught on the lurk, but still that arcade control is Liquid's.
This is going to make things very difficult for CNED, right? They want to try and maintain some level of presence over towards the site, but Team Liquid have arcade control. They're trying to get up into tower at the moment too. Thankfully, CNED does actually have that alarm bot that tells him if people are trying to get deep into tower onto site. So it gives him and Shao just a little bit of safety as Team Liquid back off from B. Regrouping with their IGL, who's taken Hall's control.
Looking like they wanted to go towards A, but no.
Oh, they're
guessing it, yeah, committing over towards it again. Redgar faking the presence with the drone. It's been a regular theme so far, this attack side of Team Liquid. But it's not pulling many of these players away. Some of them are starting to move away. CNED doesn't know if they've crossed. It's all over the place, isn't it?
I mean, CNED doesn't know if they're in tower right now, too.
With the operator out in the open, I mean, he's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's got to back away and pray that his team have his back. There's the shot landed. Flashes not connecting. And Shao pushing right through the smoke, catching every single player that might be lurking and trying to put a stop to it.
What a round by CNED with his op. Put in really uncomfortable spots and delivered every time he was asked to take a shot. I think that's been one of the biggest issues, actually, with NAVI this year, is trying to put CNED in positions where he's comfortable. And here, I'm not sure that, in terms of his positioning, he particularly was, but he's got so much skill. His ability to read where his opponents were coming from in that situation, immaculate too. He doesn't need the lockdown. Save it for round 12.
Revealing area.
Now Redgar has the Hunter's Fury as well, so there is a counter available as we head into the final round of this half. NAVI have been constantly exploring. Angel has kept them very proactive on the defensive side. And if Soulcast tries to take space in arcade, he is going to be met with resistance once more. He evacuates.
Yeah, across the ropes this time, doesn't want to get caught out. Regrouping with the rest of them. Still that tree control is theirs. In tunnel as well. Looks like that's where Yampi's setting his sights, but that is being watched as well. If he decides to push deep into it, Angel, he's got his rifle locked onto it. So safe, so slow. What you come to expect from some of these teams. This time the drone coming in. actually is. A lot of players behind this one. The Haunt is good, though. That's going to be a tag onto the one. What a kill. Right onto Yampi. Falling Thunder sent flying. Viper spin into the show. Hunter's Fury. They are chucking the kitchen sink at this. But are they going to be able to get through? Still time. 30 seconds left. Have to see that plan coming down for the extension. But just following the Prowlers right to the prize. Zipan is collecting. Guy's an absolute monster, but finally shut down. That's taking matters into his own hands. 20 seconds left. Spike has grabbed it. There's a player watching, and the lockdown finally getting that value. It's all up to Redguard. Not a chance.
And NAVI ties up at 6-6 in the first half of Champions 2023. It's a tight game, a close one, a slow one too, and a bit bizarre. If you thought this was going to be defined by the big battle of Safe against CNED, it hasn't quite gone that way, with that being a Breach v Killjoy matchup. But the first quarter dominated by Yampi and Nats until NAVI found a way to respond.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Show was saying a slower game, right? Like, you know, this is what we've come to expect. And it wasn't defined by flashy plays, but you can tell that once the compositions were locked in, it felt like that's when the wheels started to turn here, and everyone's really trying to like game plan against how do you stop the Neon? How do you get value from the Neon? Lots of cool things we saw at the very least.
For Team Liquid, I think this was defined by their composition, and the question was, what do they have cooked up? Do they have those same ult combos that were so good for EG? And they had rounds, like in round 6 in particular. I think they did a really good job on this execute, especially since it's Yampi playing the Neon. This is an unusual agent for him, but I think they combined it really well, using the Neon to distract those relay bolts to hold people in place with that dart to then go out and use the Sova ultimate. But the thing was, it wasn't these rounds that defined the half. It wasn't like EG where it's ult combo upon ult combo. It really, I think, came down to the mid-rounding a lot for TL, where NAVI was winning in these late rounds.
I agree completely. I think if NAVI went back and looks at this map and how it started, it is eerily similar to what their LCQ run looked like. They got first bloods on their opening pistol round and the bonus, and they couldn't convert those rounds. Those are massive swing rounds in that half, and I think without that, NAVI wins this half convincingly. That said, I want to give Liquid their flowers like you just did. I love the set plays coming between the Neon, the Sova, and the Breach. I thought the combination of the Yuta was perfect.
For NAVI in that first half, it was interesting because it was almost always Angel being the proactive player, taking space. It was never Zipan. I expect that to change in this half, and for NAVI, I think it's a question of how do you deny this Neon space, because Liquid with double initiator Neon is going to want to be really aggressive on the extremities, pushing forward with a dart, a stun, and that Neon combining.
Yeah, that is really, you know, we're going to see how this plays out, but what we've gotten so far, a closely contested matchup between two teams that are so familiar with one another. But let's go ahead and send it right back over to Brennan Sideshow and take us through this second half.
We said this was going to be a game of parity. You think about the identical twin head coaches, you know, the IGL Omen players that love to make the risky plays. And yeah, 6-6 half is what we're staring at.
The issue here, though, for Team Liquid is that NAVI, in my opinion, are a lot better on the attack side of this map than they are on the defense. I'm not sure that necessarily bears out in the stats, but I think that they tend to come in with better ideas. I think the slow pace on their attack side is the way that Angel likes to call and the way that players like Sugetsu and Xiao like to play.
Another play being set up, though. Some form of utility. There's a fault line. Double swing, double face. Zipan not favored. He was alone in that.
Not at all. That's a really ambitious refight by Zipan. He knows that there's going to be multiple people there supported by Breach utility.
With that first kill, Team Liquid advantage. Still not a lot of information because, yeah, Nats. What a timing to be taken by NAVI. Immediately evened out. Gained access to the site. Should be a free plan for them. B main control also held. Still giving time for Team Liquid to rotate.
Yeah, where is this spike going?
What is the call here? The call to push into spawn. This is a complete adaptation. Redguard could be an absolute hero here to stun, to capitalize. Redguard heard it all. And the util is good. It's fantastic. It's still coverage is there. Into the smoke. What am I watching? It's anarchy.
That's the spike again.
2 versus 2.
Safe has it. Knocked down right by his feet.
Picked up, though. And so, which way does this go? I mean, the smoke's still covering their exits, but again, tip-top, it's just pure RNG. Oh my God.
Safe finding value there, but that was also Solcas's smoke that even allowed Sugetsu to escape in the first place. Can Shao win this? What is that headshot?
I mean, basically, full run is what it felt like now. Time left as well to get this plant down, but he is low. With the extension, him versus Safe. Ghost in either hand. Needs to be a shot to the head, he dinks him. Shot goes wide, stun, missing, doesn't hit it though. It's Safe with 3 to finish. What? And a pistol round for Team Liquid, man.
That is a pistol round for the ages. That's an unbelievable one. What an audible to call from Angel there. And I think that's been another theme, actually, of Na'Vi throughout this year, is overcooking situations like that just a tad. You could see the idea. You can definitely see what he's going for there, and there's only Redgar holding him back. The issue is, when Safe has a fault line into spawn and you're all running single file into Redgar, that fault line connected on everybody, and it just stalled the entire pivot. Madness, though. Absolute madness that puts Team Liquid up 7-6. The reaction in the Netherlands, the same as mine here.
You're going to get disbelief at times when you watch these two teams. For better or for worse.
Everybody on Na'Vi flooding through Arcade right now. Prioritizing orbs onto CNED. Makes sense, the lockdown. Massive tool. Although Shao is technically closer to another big ultimate in the Nightfall.
Making sure they prioritize the ults on either areas. Lots available to them on Fracture. Even getting a cheeky kill here, but...
With how slowly, Brent, that Na'Vi like to play on their attack side, I think Team Liquid is going to find it very difficult to get information. Yeah, they still have the Sova dart and they have a drone to work with, but apart from that, they have no passive info coming from a Killjoy or a Cypher or anything like that. They're going to need to be pushing and info peeking a lot. And that offers opportunities for Na'Vi to punish. Is he here again, Solcas? Forced to give up a Halls control because he's worried about Dish.
Yeah,
they can't watch both areas at once.
When he's backed all the way just to the default spot, and yet he knows, and now he can hear it. The footsteps coming his way. Paranoia, that's a connection. Nade towards his feet, but that is a great dart. Sets it up and bogs them down with the aftershock. Laying all the util straight into the choke point. Fire in range for Solcas. Get the confidence online, son.
Easy pickings on the anti-eco. That's what you need to see. And Redgar saving that recon dart to be able to support Solcas in his job anchoring the site instead of using it for information. Something to keep an eye on as we head deeper into this. Team Liquid with a much better bonus round buy this time in the second half, and they were still able to convert in round 3. So how does this look?
That should work.
They're going to fight into tree. This looks all in.
Yeah, Sugetsu seems to be there to meet them, but no, just backing away from this one. A lot of util being used, dumped right into tree, taking control of it. That's an ult online, an important one. Rolling Thunder now, and well...
Look how deep Angel already is.
An insane shot to hit, yet Angel vacuumed up the space that's offered to him. Aftershock is a little bit too delayed, and he's found a second.
The timings that Angel finds are so feast or famine. They're taking that 1v1, but finding the timing, finding the opportunity, and winning the duel against Yampi.
The question is, the Team Liquid still want to try and commit to using ultimates against this one. Plant. It's being stuck. Nothing used to dissuade it.
I don't think you do, Brandon.
Yeah, not in this instance.
I think the Rolling Thunder is just too much of an investment. This is a bonus round. You want to damage the economy of Na'Vi, but their post-plant positioning is going to be fantastic here. They control tree and arcade. A breach shell just can't hit everybody.
They'll make a go of it. Fault line being held.
If you get a couple of picks, of course, that whole situation changes.
There it is. Attempt from Nats maybe to just swing off that stun, not really working out. Full control, and again, yeah, just trying to play the exits, take away the guns if you can. Evacuation once more from Na'Vi. Bullets tagging, slowing them down, but it looks like everybody's going to be able to get away safely.
And Safe and Solcas throw themselves into the maw. An extremely gentle bonus round, especially compared to what we saw in round 3. Na'Vi escaped completely unscathed. All rifles maintained. When Zipan gets going, and if Angel's hitting entries too, this attack side could be very difficult for Liquid to deal with. They have the lead for the moment.
Bot coming back.
Redgar is picking up the Sova operator.
Okay.
You always know there's going to be something when
Yeah.
Angel and Redgar are on the field, but I didn't think we were going to see this.
Not going to anticipate it, are you? Great tool to stop the contact plays, but what do you do when there's a smoke in your face? Not much. It's got to be the reposition.
Well, famously, Bren, the Sova has really good tools to be able to disengage if you get caught out of position. So, you know, he could take a more aggressive angle.
Uh-huh. Guy's just lying, spreading misinformation over the internet.
CNED's one away from his ultimate. That's a fact. You can take that to the bank. So he's going to pick up the orb at the moment, probably head back into tunnel and go for this. Now Redgar's going to be forced to play retake with an operator.
Yeah, and there's no big ults to try and push this one back, is it?
Or is he?
I mean,
Redgar's going the opposite way.
Anchoring onto the side, you really just have to get out of here.
He's got the shock dart lineups and the aftershock as well.
Yep, is the util goods?
No,
it misses, man, it misses! 2 players detained! Not a chance.
And there it is, that's the gambit that Team Liquid went for. I didn't even spot exactly where those shock darts ended up landing, but there is a bit of variability in terms of where you can put the lockdown in tunnel and still get value.
Yeah, the round has gone to pot. I think it might have just been the smokes in the face. I think whatever he's lining that up off, he might just need some part of the wall to fire it off of or what. I'm not too sure, but...
It's a great point. I mean, I don't play Sova on Fracture, so...
Not many people do.
So I'm unsure exactly what the lineup is there, but clearly Redgar going for it and it not quite landing. So that's given NAVI another incredibly clean round. This economy is going to be through the roof. All of these players getting an extra 3K at the end of this for the one round.
Yeah.
And the suppression on the side of Team Liquid, exactly the opposite. NAVI are now in the ascendancy.
They're hunting out this gun, though. Take it out of safe hands. Paranoia does miss, but yeah. Out into the open. Sipan plucking him. So 8-8, it's evened up. As we were expecting, and another timeout now going to be called here by Team Liquid.
We're seeing things from Sean's perspective here in the replay. Just easiest cleanup for NAVI. So we're heading into a tactical timeout here by Team Liquid as well, as they try to reassess what the situation is. They're going into an eco for the next, so this one really about how they're going to adapt in round 18 once they have guns back available. One of the big things that Team Liquid was talking about coming into this tournament was focusing on their discipline and cohesion. Emil said in the past as a coach, he has allowed his team to have a lot of freedom. If they want to overpeak sometimes, if that's something that they're doing because they're confident, he'll let them. He doesn't want to keep them too closely leashed. But in the run-up here to Champions, he's tried to create a more cohesive Liquid, a more disciplined Liquid. A Redgar on operator Liquid.
Yeah, I was rolling back the rounds in my head and I was like, I'm not really seeing as much evidence of this, but listen.
I mean, I do feel like that's what they're aiming for with this kind of composition. They're having, you know, it be based on very set utility being thrown by Redgar and Safe.
Yeah.
Soulcast has been extremely disciplined in terms of the areas of the map that he's been taking, although I think he's been a bit too alone on his attack side. The question for me is really how they deal with NAVI. Now let's take a look at this. Now where did the shocks land?
Shocks were nowhere near, were they?
Oh, there they are. You just see them to the left of the screen.
I mean, maybe being placed for a different position of the lockdown, but
And
it's
possibly one just a little
heavy.
late.
I mean, just a massive gamble, right, to just anchor onto the side.
Yeah, you have to be extremely confident those lineups are going to land, and it didn't.
Knock the money down, so NAVI, lots of chances here. Risks need to be taken. That's why you're seeing that fault line push out, defensive aggression onto the north side of the map here by Team Liquid.
Nobody ready to punish, and I'm not sure that Angel even got the information that north side has been compromised. The NAVI players left very early on.
Could end up with the round coming down to guesswork, but look at this, fully stacked up. Team Liquid now actually running all the way to A. With NAVI also grouped up, not willing to give away any advantages. They want to be playing together nice and tight so that they can trade.
55 seconds on the clock. Redgar got the recon dart back, so he's got that available to try and
punish.
punish.
Grouped up, yeah. Team Liquid, they have presence, they have bodies here. It's about hitting the shots at this point. Lovely recon. There's the punish with a fault line. Yeah, the stun. Listen, it was good. Supportive utility there, but still Angel, man. ripping them apart, isn't he, with the rifles? Just can't quite get it done with the sheriffs.
Nats has picked up a Vandal here. If there was going to be anybody to make this round winnable, it could be him.
He's out in the open. Door opening.
Caught on the rope.
Yep, to get to. Taking him out here. Just min-maxing, making sure that they can prioritize. Still with 10 seconds left. Here's the plant. No chance for Soulcast here. They know his positioning. I mean, he'd have to toggle, basically, on the big stage to pull anything like this off.
Yeah, it's not a possible situation for him, but it's more about, if you can, trying to put a bit of suppression on the Na'Vi economy, because it's currently out of control. You look at Sugetsu, CNED, Zipan, these guys are going to have almost max money.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Make Zipan have to rebuy the rifle. These kind of things could end up being important if both teams are able to put more rounds on the board and we head deeper and deeper in this map.
Need to see some more ideas, though, now from Team Liquid. That was their half-buy round. They're going to have rifles on board for the next. But the lead has been taken by Navi. This is where they really do just have a chokehold on this map. Their map pick. It looked like early on Team Liquid had a very good read. I think that first half they had plenty of fantastic ideas. We saw the big ult dump on that one round where they punished the A-holes the Navi like to play on the defense side. So there were clear ideas and counter-stratting at play, but
This is going to be ridiculous, Brent. We've got Yampi with the Neon Operator trying to peek into at least two of the players that are on Navi
Angel
trying
and
to take tree
Zipan,
control.
right? Yeah. Close to the corner here, stuns are there. Angel's TP'd in front.
It's a great position to TP to, actually. You get such a wide swing on the up.
And you just don't expect it. It's so unorthodox, man. Any potential timing, he made no noise whatsoever. Look at it, slipped his way into the side dart. Just about getting that tag onto the one. Soulcast, that is just instinct on display. Shots rattled off through the choke point. Navi finding it difficult now to try and get a bit of a breather in the round.
Their players are very weak.
And still that breach shot, safe. He's holding on to it with these kills that he's landing. These are just through the smokes. With the spam, might even get another one. There it is. No fair fight.
Both of those players had a combined 51 health between them, taken down by spam through the smoke. It's just all the chip damage adding up over time.
Last player standing.
Giving him the fights now to CNED. But again, what a task he's got. Sidestep, a strafe to avoid the stun, a wider face once more, but no, with 3 players against him. There's that discipline being showed. And again, even.
You take a look at the replay here, though. One of the big issues is that Na'Vi are too predictable on their timings of when they're committing to the site. They go for it. A big round here. You know, utilizing the Nightfall, getting into the site. But one of my major issues is, while they're up 5v4, and they've been very good at being able to get those attacking first kills all this year, they immediately pivot into a site hit every time. And that makes it too predictable. We have an op v op battle happening here, although CNED is on the other side. Yampi doesn't like the look of it. He runs away instantly.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of conditioning, but they give him that space. Nice and early. Yampi sets himself up.
Team Liquid's composition has to fight.
No.
Not Angel
He
again.
sees the barrel. He sees the barrel. Misses the chance, though.
So close.
Cover going out.
That is dancing with death for Yampi. He's trying to work on that internal clock of when the team could have worked their way under through tunnel without making a footstep. And to be fair to him, he was perfect.
Just
Couldn't have
escaping
spent
it.
another half second there.
Yeah. Peeking off the recon. Broken. Only the one shot, though, going wide. And a lot of noise being made. Navi trying to hide their presence, make it difficult to tell which site they're going to be landing on.
I love this smoke as well from Angel. It's obscured the sightline from Yampi. These players over by B are going to be looking for information, but they've made the right read. There's 3 on A, and that's where the spike is heading with 30 seconds.
Yeah, and with no time, safe in position with the Rolling Thunder. This just feels like a lost round almost instantly. The time scale that they've been trying to play this one, a haunt into the back of the side. The Rolling Thunder is being used preemptively to try and bog out these players. 17 seconds left. Everybody pushed and corralled into close quarters here. Cosmic Divide just Again,
There's no time.
pushed right in front of them. Angel is right behind enemy lines, and he can't win these fights out. 6 seconds left. There has to be the spike being planted. Is there time? I believe so. And still, they're holding it down. All the sidelines there. The shots are landing. It's up to Sokas and Yampi.
Yampi's going to be able to exchange the operator for a rifle, so he does still have a chance. Stun would be good.
He's trying to isolate one of the fights here, but it's so damn difficult. It's a high-low setup. Drop control still there. CNED watching it with the op. Here's the ult. Showstopper against the wall. Damage done, but no kill netted. Distraction play from Sokas, but again, it's ticking. The spike down and down. Time available, not there. This just felt like an impossible round to win for Navi, yet somehow, somewhere, they pulled it out.
And I don't know how. They had 10 seconds on the clock. Angel was the only player that Omen ulted into sight. They still had Nats on the high ground of A to deal with, and they bullied their way through all of that defensive utility and managed to get a plant down.
10 seconds
That's
left.
a ridiculous round.
Yeah, look at this.
10 seconds left.
Right down to the wire.
Just trading people out excellently on this slow siege.
A second to spare when the plant's going down there.
I can't believe it. There's so many things that could have gone wrong in that situation.
Yep.
One player in a spot to be able to drop the player with the spike, and it could have all been over.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah, and that's what it means. These are the small moments, the delicate things that can mean the difference between a win and a loss.
And look at this group up. Players are meeting them pound for pound. Zipan! Oh, the man with the plan.
What is that?
Maybe not so still. I mean, that is just...
He's just jiggling left and
Yep.
right. AD, tapping people while he's in the dead zone. What is that?
fantastic movement.
When Zipan's on Raze, anything is winnable. That's another thing that Navi have shifted heading into Champions. CNED occasionally taking a bit more of a back seat for Zipan to play the solo duelist, rather than experimenting with those Yoru Fade compositions that everyone loved from Navi.
So lock that away. Do not bring that out.
But Zipan's been absolutely magical on Raze.
Yeah.
He's constantly putting up huge performances for the team.
It's definitely that comfort role.
Yeah, this has put Liquid in a really horrible spot again. They forced into this round with a Guardian, some scraps, odds and ends.
There's no chance of reclaiming a rifle as well. They are grouped up. They're saving this Guardian. Doesn't feel nice.
I mean, these players could easily get pinched and lose what little they already have.
They already are being pinched. Position is known here. Just got to find the angles in time. It's all up to Nats. And he won't survive. Navi. It's 11-9. The bank is booming. Plenty of money still. Team Liquid once more knocked down. It's almost absolutely nothing.
Here comes the timeout from Team Liquid. Look at this from Zipan. Oh, yeah. It's the lineup towards the end as Yampi and Soulcast just stack on top of each other. Neither quick enough to be able to trade the first as well. I believe that was safe. There's coordination a little off there, but, you know, that's what's going to happen in some of these spots when the pressure gets to you. I don't really like the way that Team Liquid have been playing their defensive round, Brent, and I'll tell you why. Their composition doesn't have any of that passive information gathering, and so your two options are to try to fight for areas of the map on defense, to play aggressively over towards, you know, let's say tree, and then you back off and you try and re-push another area, and so you're constantly finding new information around the map and creating presence. Or the other option is to try and get, you know, some passive information from an op. And when you look at the comp that they're running, I don't think there is a natural operator. We've seen Redgar pull it out on Sova. We've seen Yampi playing it on Neon. This doesn't make sense to me no matter how good Yampi is with the op. When you have a Neon comp with a Breach and a Sova, you've got to be aggressively taking information, not trying to sit passive behind an operator. I think that's been the wrong call for them, and I think it's put them in a really bad hole that even with the right strategy now, it would be almost impossible to dig their way out of. Navi look like they should be able to wrap this one up very quickly.
Only need 2 more rounds. This one should be handed to them unless something goes awry. Lots of ults still left to be used. I mean, Yampi does have the overdrive. Redgar maybe could cook someone up. Hunter's Fury, but for now, fully grouped up. Navi all on the south side of the map. Here it is, yep. It's proactive, it's aggressive, but it's paranoia. Fantastic time with that one. Angel TPing all the way out of there. I thought he was TPing even deeper. Damage being done behind the box. Dodging, juking, but Shao Finally lands the shots there, bullets raining down onto them, and there was that push out through onto the tree side.
Nats being able to pick one up with his favorite gun, the Ghost. And it's what made Team Liquid's ecos so phenomenal when they were playing in the regular season. But here, still in a 3v4, and those weapons, you know, lost in places where there's no way to pick them up. Xiao's weaponry is not going to be retrievable by Team Liquid. So this has got to get done with Sheriffs and Ghosts.
Saved, tucked.
Nats is going for it. What
across the rope, he spotted it.
There's
you have to hold your ground, though. You have to hold.
No one's looking.
No one's looking towards it.
There's no way.
No question marks on the mini-map, and he sped it all the way up. There's a gun for you.
What a play!
Got to do it. Backs against the wall. Safe. Gets his way out of there. No longer anchoring towards the back, just rattling off the shots, and there's definitely damage done. Players are weak, but a spike will get planted still. It's a 3 versus 3. Hit in place, Agetsu. Trying to close this one out cleanly. Bit of anti-synergy though, and CNED's holding with the operator. Can't exactly follow up inside the pit.
No, he doesn't have any kind of angle, I don't think.
Does Nats choose to invest his own? Holding it in his hands as the counter pit. Layered on top, it's almost perfect.
This round is for the game.
Completely overlapped. Where will the dice fall here? Comes down to it, a bit of RNG, lighting up the bodies. It's even, so far safe. He's ran them down, and CNED with the operator. Sticking onto it, rifle gained, damage done still. Everyone's weak, and they all fall down.
Well, Team Liquid took their risks, they took the gambles, and in the end it did not pay off. Nats tried his very best, but the investment of that Viper's Pit, it was a good idea. I mean, you saw what Safe was able to accomplish. Everybody on NAVI dropped down to fractional health, apart from CNED, who was outside with the operator. No real way of accounting for that. Team Liquid are going to have one last chance here. NAVI only need one more.
One enemy remaining.
Round's already begun. Straight back to it. CNED, no time to set up his turret, actually, to watch that angle. He was late towards the north side. Angel walking up, Solcast just spots it. Damage being done, a tag with the bullet, but not enough to really bring down his opposition, and now there's a pace increase. All the way onto the side, but Yambi's still watching it with the op. Disengaging, dodging away from all this utility with the Nightfall scattering across. I'll be definitely finding it difficult now to get a bit of a foothold here. The one player onto the side, they have to make a call to try and fight, and it's over towards Sand. Still the spike is in halls, and Angel, he is in no man's land. He used 2 TPs to get into this spot.
He's got to be able to get them out of it. I mean, he's the playmaker now, but he's so far away from being able to make a play happen.
Behind the box.
Another smoke up in 5 seconds. He could use that to try and isolate a duel or get himself out.
Trying to force a fight. Stun. Dart. Everything being used. Attention dragged towards him. Safe. Marching towards the objective, but no. Backing away, playing it because they realize they have time, and well,
30 seconds left.
Spamming the common angles once more. Xiao's going to be falling.
They shouldn't be allowed to plant here. Safe and Redguard both have ultimates that can stop it.
Tap once more, looking for the fights here. Completely grouped up, but yeah, Team Liquid. They had the advantages there in that round. It was handed them. We'll see it 12-10. The amount of chances now that NAVI has to close out this map.
And things get easier for Liquid the more that they can win. Yampi's picked up the operator again. You don't anticipate them really going for too much defensive aggression when he's got that weapon online. But these ults are going to be constant threats. Whenever Safe and Redguard have these ultimates up, it makes it very difficult for NAVI to be able to get a plant down. And it also counters CNED trying to go for any kind of space acquisition, taking control of the B site with his lockdown.
Again, lacking that information, aren't they? You can see it. Got having to jiggle with the knife out.
Yampi's actually taking a lot of space in A holes, and that's going to be beneficial for them. I mean, 2 players right now are getting early information towards A, so they can stack 3B, and they don't have a bad defensive setup.
You should run.
Nade over the top. There's a lockdown. There's a Hunter's Fury to try and push this back and actually deal with it, and this time Nats, yeah. Definitely aware of it for the towers push. Rolling Thunder.
But that's every ultimate. The 2 big ultimates have been used, and NAVI still have a minute to work with. Sure, they're in a 4v5. But I think you've got to consider that a bit of a win.
The entire time, though, Yampi has held on to that A-Hall's control. That's what's important, because it gives Team Liquid peace of mind, knowing that they can stack players onto the B site.
I think Nats and CNED both just caught glimpses of each other there.
And here it is, crossing, using the smoke timers. Again, it's just random bullets. It could come down to sheer chance.
30 seconds left.
Whether or not they can get into the site itself. There it is, follow the traces, and Nats will just pounce.
Down B.
3 in a round in total. Xiao left to do so much more, and he just cannot get it done. 12-11, Team Liquid. Steadily getting there. One more to bring it to OT.
Nats has just been the hero for Team Liquid today. He was at the beginning of the first quarter here on Fracture. He was electric. And now here finding all the important kills. He caught a spot of CNED early on while he was positioned at Dice, repositions into tower, deals with CNED by counter-spamming through the smoke, and then also catches the player in tower who's trying to push him and squeeze him. Amazing play from Nats. He's up 20-14. That's what Emil needs. Star player stepping up.
Last time out here of regular time, and it's NAVI. They realize it. The chances have been slipping away from them to close this map out in a nice clean fashion without it going to the OT. One more shot, one more chance.
The gun rounds in this half have still been massively in favor of NAVI. Team Liquid won the pistol, both times, and NAVI is still 12-11 up. But that kind of stuff, it doesn't really matter if Liquid's able to find those crucial rounds that end up making the difference. The rounds that count for more than just one. Now, Zipan is going to be one away from his showstopper here. There's definitely a plan that NAVI can construct around that ultimate. And like I said in the prior, with the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder being removed from the game, Team Liquid don't have the same level of tools. They're going for a double op setup. You've got to be kidding.
Yes, they are. Why not?
Do they have spare rifles on the floor? I don't think.
I believe so. I mean, Redguard was
they must
chopping and changing it around.
If they don't, they should, because Soulcast has the money for it.
Yeah, and it's the last round for it, so they must do, surely. Well, I mean, this is one way. Try and hold some of that passive map control.
Bring them down.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Angel only with a Sheriff in hand.
Slowed down entirely. Yampi.
He's got to be worried about tunnel.
There's danger. Oh, there's more than danger. This player's right in his face. Prowler shot, landing through. Damaged under Zipan.
That could be crucial. I mean, Zipan will now die to 2 Vandal shots to the body as he pops his showstopper. The damage that was just done through that Prowler may end up making a massive difference. But just picking up the orb has dragged 4 players from the defense over towards B. Recon dart being used. That needs to be broken. If it isn't...
Doesn't get broken.
Okay, down Team Liquid know that this hit's coming through on A.
They can stack it through. It's Nats who's holding it again. Anchoring stall. Defender close to the corner. Doesn't stand a chance. No one is up against the rocket. Here with the door open wide. That is a beautiful face. The fundamentals on display from NAVI. They found that advantage. Get into the site, though. Plant needs to get online here. Op revealed. Yampi holding it from drop here.
It didn't clear, so
Sugetsu is not cleared, yep. Still from Sand. This is Dire Straits, and this is the map. NAVI standing their ground. And Heroics and Redguard not enough in the end. 13-11. That's map number 1 wrapped up.
NAVI performing on their map pick there of Fracture. They needed it. All of these maps, I think we can anticipate being just as close as what you just witnessed. These 2 teams separated by a hair.
Yeah. And this has been par for the course, honestly. This entire year, if you look at these 2 teams and they're playing, I think at most it's been a round differential of 3 rounds on every map that they've played against each other.
And what a time for NAVI to get back into a form where they look like they've actually got a chance to compete against squads